Alright, this is Ronald Shaw with FTE 217. Today's date, July 27th, 2025. This is actually week 7's video assignment. So analyzing when trigger work is necessary and when it should not be performed. Trigger work is necessary when we have a trigger that is faulty. So when we pull on the trigger, it should be a smooth operation. If at all it feels loose, or if it feels like maybe it has been, the spring is broke or disconnected, we can then go ahead and separate the uppers and lowers to disassemble the trigger and take a further inspection to see which part has malfunctioned, if any at all. If it does feel sloppy, then I personally would recommend a drop-in trigger assembly that you can get off of brownells.com or midwayusa.com, or other plethora of websites that you can get drop-in ready trigger assemblies. As far as when it is should not be performed, is the obvious is when we possibly may have a inclination that it is somebody trying to alter the semi-auto firearm to a fully auto firearm, and in that case we would not want to make any trigger modifications. It just gets everybody involved in a heap of crap with everybody. So problems with improper trigger work is that it depends on where it was. If you didn't know what you were doing and you took too much material off, the disconnector, the sear could not keep the hammer cocked, so it could basically just essentially fire at any time. If it were to be, say, dropped or bumped, it could set the firearm off, and that is not something that we want to do. Detailed inspection of the AR. I will bring the AR into sight and know that we have no live ammunition in the area. I don't even have the magazine in the firearm. The firearm is set to safe, but I would do a check of the firearm. So we're gonna see that there's no magazine. I already have the bolt open, so we can do a physical and visual check. We can see that there's no live ammunition. We can stick our pinky in there and physically check that there is no live ammunition in the chamber, and then from there we can do the detailed. So with the detailed inspection of the firearm, things that we're looking for is I would separate the upper from the lower. I would remove the bolt carrier group, check the bolt carrier group, do a double check on the fire pin protrusion, check the bolt for carbon buildup, scrape the carbon buildup off, check the extractor, make sure it wasn't wore, make sure everything was intact. I would also be looking down the barrel, looking for any corrosion, pitting, or anything else that may be wrong with the barrel as far as that would cause issues. We would also check the trigger for any play, make sure smooth operation. We would do smooth operation on the mag drop, charging handle, and anything else that we would feel the need to do on a detailed inspection. Checking the safety system is, like I said, we've already had the bolt open. The firearm is already set to safe, so making sure that we're pointing the firearm in a safe direction, not pointing it towards anybody. We can pull on the trigger and see that it is not firing. We can then shut the bolt, pull the trigger, and see that it still does not fire. Take the selector, move to fire, hear the click. We need to hold the trigger, pull back on the charging handle, and as we bring the bolt back forward, we could visually hear the click of the trigger for the reset. and then we can set it back to safe. And double check that it has set. Also, with the safety check, we can, once everything is set, we can take a rubber mallet or a dead blow, tap around the trigger area housing and make sure that it doesn't set it off. And we can also do a drop test from 6 to 8 inches off of a bench platform or off the floor, keeping our face away from the muzzle area just in case it were to go off. It should already be empty, shouldn't be loaded, but just in case. And that is how you would perform a check the safety system of the firearm. Moving into discuss the easiest and most difficult. The easiest, I think, when it comes to repairs and modifications of the AR platform is going to be any aesthetic modification that you can do, whether it's a hydro dip or a Cerakote, adding accessories such as a light foregrip. Those are all going to be your easy modifications and repairs, if you even want to call those a repair. Probably one of the most difficult is going to be in the extractor and ejector, in my opinion, because you know once you get everything all dialed in and checked over, and then just replacing the bolt carrier group or anything that you may need.